Pop quiz, hotshots. You're listening to the greatest movie podcast out there is right now. What do you do? What do you do? Well, you tell all your friends about us. That's what you do. Hey, everyone. Kevin Goetz here, Gutting the Sacred Cow. New episode. And the 90s action films just continue to take a beating this week. The executive producer of Who Would Wins show, Brent Pope, joins us to try and besmirch the finest auteur, actor, whatever you want to call him, Keanu Reeves, in the 1994 classic Speed. That's right. Before we get to it, guttingthesacredcow.com, guttingthesacredcow@gmail.com if you want to advertise with us or say hi. And without any further delay, here's Brent Pope trying to derail Speed. Just like a Dundago, bringing a knife to a gunfight. Kevin Israel, name that film.
I don't know.
Our guest today is Brent Pope. Brent, do you know what quote that film is from?
I know. I've definitely seen this movie.
You have?
Yeah. I can't picture it.
The Untouchables.
David Mamet.
Sean Connery right before he gets shot up.
Yep.
Not one of the more quotable movies.
There are two lines that one and the you bring a knife, he brings a gun. That's a Chicago way. That's where he gives in the whole speech in church. Bill Schultz will just quote that to us ad nauseum. Kevin Goetz, Kevin Israel, back again. Hello, folks. We hope you're having a ball with a lot of these episodes, like our, oh God, Kevin, the Warriors episode, Borat, American Pie, the list of these love films, successful films, Beverly Hills Cop. Wow, what a joyous ride we've been on these last
Huge
2 months. Jedi, Return of the Jedi. Can you believe that? Today we've got, however, joining us Brent Pope. Brent, what's going on, man? How are you? What's
Man,
new?
I'm good. I'm just out here in Los Angeles, and it's hot today. So
I wish it was hot here. It was 50 and windy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. One day it was 82 days ago, and the allergies were in full blast, and now it's windy as shit and raining. Welcome to North Jersey. Brent has joined us to take on 1994 mega hit Speed. Budget at the time of $30 million, a box office haul of 354.4. Kevin Israel, shall we turn that into 2022 dollars?
Let's.
We shall. $57.3 million budget, $677.6 million. That's Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of money right there.
Yeah.
IMDb, as we know, is a scale 1 through 10 with decimal points. Hey, Brent, what do you think that Speed got on the old IMDb?
People seem to love this movie, so I'm going to say 7.9.
Kevin Israel?
I'm going to go 7 flat.
7.3. Point Israel. Rotten Tomatoes 1 through 100. Critic score, Kevin Israel. Bada boom, bada bing.
65.
Brent.
I kind of think that the critics like this movie. I'm going to say, again, 79.
94.
What?
Wow.
I had a mini I had a TIA when I read that too. Audience score, Brett. What did the audience give Speed?
Oh, I thought the audience would have been higher, but it can't possibly be higher than that. So,
or could it be?
I don't think so.
There are 6 more numbers.
83.
Kevin Israel.
I don't know. My world has lost all meaning right now. Critics gave this a 94. What did Brent guess?
90. What do you say?
83.
83.
I go 90.
76.
Nothing makes sense. I'm going home. Bye, guys.
So weird.
I'm kidding.
Welcome to the bizarro world. Quotes, not many, but I might have probably snagged them all. Shoot the hostage.
Yeah, that was my first one.
Pop quiz hot shot. That had to be number
Second
2.
one.
Third one. Officer. Fourth one. Officer. Gonna go home and have some sex. You're gonna go home and pass out. Yeah, that'll be fun too. And Kevin Israel, quotes?
We'll have to base it on sex. That was
Cute. Deep pull.
And something, and he said it a couple of times. Speed up.
Brent, quotes.
Let's see. Jeff Daniels says, "Guts will get you far, and then they get you killed."
I was gonna write that down, but I did not. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
I'm smarter, but I'm taller.
Oh, which makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
None.
And then I wrote this down, but it's to me the worst line in the movie. "There was a bomb on the bus." Yeah, right. Some funny joke, man.
You don't make jokes like that?
No. Well, no.
5 fun facts. Yost, the writer, liked the twist until he realized a month before production that Jeff Daniels' character turning out to be the heel wasn't believable enough. Also, the bomb was set to go off at 20 miles an hour, not 50, and the bus was going to circle Dodger Stadium, not LAX, before blowing up in the Hollywood sign.
Wait, so Jeff Daniels was originally supposed to be the villain?
Yeah.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
That would have been a great twist if they could have pulled it off.
That would have been Arlington Road.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
You ever saw that? Good film. So. Jeff Bridges. Let's do my other favorite one. Can you fellas guess who turned down to play Jack Traven? Of course, I will give hints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 absolute A+ megastars, and then a bunch of others you're never gonna get.
I mean, this is
94. 4.
94. School. Tom Hanks.
1.
Tom Cruise got to be in there.
Tom Cruise is 2. 2 more mega action stars. And a third was on the cusp. Well, he's not an action star.
Not Stallone.
No.
How about Kiefer?
No.
Mel Gibson.
No.
Bruce Willis?
Yes. 3.
Oh.
Just going through every 90s action movie. Oh,
it's like Die Hard, but on a bus, guys.
Yeah.
Get it? God, I don't.
Are you done?
Too early for Matt Damon or
too
Affleck.
early. Too early.
Brad Pitt. No, too early for Brad Pitt too, right?
Jackie Chan.
No.
That would have been amazing.
Who else?
Tom Cruise, Tom Hanks, Stephen Baldwin.
Oh my God!
How could they not get him? He turned it down. What? Was he too busy making? He's getting ready to do Usual Suspects. No, because it came out a year after. So no, it would not have conflicted. Wesley Snipes, right before. Is that after Passenger 57? I think it was after. Woody Harrelson, George Clooney, William Baldwin. Surprising they didn't call Alec up. I mean, they go for the other ones. But Daniel wasn't around either. Johnny Depp, Bruce Willis, we said. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh. God, what?
Michael Keaton and Jeff Bridges. Arnold.
It's amazing how different this movie would have been with any of those people.
You have Jeff Bridges and Jeff Daniels in the same movie.
I am sure you're sorry for the crime that you committed.
We just two cool dudes.
Yeah. Jan de Bont thought Keanu was a great fit after seeing him in Point Break. Now for the ladies. Who turned down playing Annie? One megastar, 2 megastars. Actually 3 at the time. Wow, there are so many names here. I'm not even going to count. There are a ton. I'm pretty sure if you say it, just start saying names.
Definitely Julia Roberts.
Actually, no.
Wow, really?
Wait, yep. She was one of them. She was one. Okay.
Meg Ryan.
Yes. There are 20 names on this list.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna go through them.
Just rattle them out.
Yeah.
Halle Berry turned down. Meryl Streep, Kim Basinger,
What?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh my God.
Sandra Bullock, of course, she was paid $200,000 for this role, by the way. Glenn Close, Barbara Hershey, Jessica Lange, Meryl Streep, I said, Sigourney Weaver, Jane Seymour, Angelica Houston, Kay Lentz, Kim Basinger, Kathleen Turner, Deborah Winger, Gina Davis, Carrie Fisher, Melanie Griffith, Michelle Pfeiffer, Emma Thompson, Rosanna Arquette, Meg Tilly, Daryl Hannah, Meg Ryan, we said, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Ali Sheedy, Demi Moore, Jodie Foster, Tatum O'Neal, boy, she wasn't doing anything except cocaine, Bridget Fonda, Marissa Tomei, Diane Lane, Sarah Jessica Parker, Brooke Shields, Julia Roberts, Winona Ryder, Alyssa Milano, and Cameron Diaz.
I would have liked to see Arnold Schwarzenegger and Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. I have so many jokes for that, but we got to get moving. Number 3, who turned down to direct Speed but went off to make an award-winning film that came out the same year?
Oh, 94.
You can get it. I think you can get this.
James Cameron?
What came out in 94 from Cameron?
I don't know.
No.
I was shot in the dark. 90s.
Michael Bay. You said award-winning. I know he doesn't.
Yeah,
win
no,
awards,
I was going to say. Yeah.
Special effects he wins every year.
Yeah.
94. Just lay it on us.
There were 3 movies you could have chosen that were the king of 94. Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, and Shawshank. The answer is Quentin Tarantino turned this down.
Wow, that would have been
wow.
a dramatically different movie. If he directed and it was Schwarzenegger and Ellen DeGeneres.
And there'd be some raping on the bus, too, and some guy in a leather costume.
And a lot of N-words.
Yeah. No, man, I'm real fucking far from being fine, okay? Sandra Bullock agreed to star in the sequel. Why? So she could get financial backing for the movie Hope Floats.
Oof.
You know, it didn't float that movie into the black. Ugh. Or did it? I don't know.
No, it was bad. I remember there was like something in Hollywood Reporter. Somebody wrote, it said something like hope floats and
so does shit.
Crap. Yeah. That's basically that's what it said.
I could be a fucking writer for those dumb rags. Number 5. Wait till I tell you who wrote, quote, 98.9% of the dialogue. Ready? Joss Whedon, uncredited.
Really?
He has an early, but then he's not uncredited. He has framed in his house a movie poster with him on the credits, but it's uncredited. And now it's time to go to the herd, as we like to call our fans, for Ask a Gutter. At Carly Kingsley, Sandra Bullock said that she regretted making Speed 2. Crying face emoji. Okay, Brent, you're on the bus with Jack. Pick the stereotype for your side character, and what is your one-liner? At Lord Snurts.
I'm probably the if it's me, I'm probably the other construction guy that's the buddy of the Ortiz, and I'm like, yo, take your hat off, dog, something like that, because he's wearing his hat for the first hour.
That's true. You're right. How many I guess we had to have that jammed down our gullets that he's a construction worker. If that didn't tip you off, the flannel vest in LA Heat should have. Okay. Next, at Delvin Cox, I just want to say that Scoops Pope might be right. And at Almighty Ray Cicanis, the aforementioned, if you can't choose Speed or Demolition Man, what's your favorite Sandra Bullock movie?
I was kind of talking about this the other night. I think The Net holds up kind of well.
Oh God, I saw the theater and laughed so hard. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's bad, but it kind of foreshadowed the whole identity theft thing via computer, right? Mm-hmm. So I think it was the first time we saw that. But what was actually good? I've actually seen that rom-com with her and Ryan Reynolds where Ryan Reynolds has to pretend. Yeah, The Proposal. Yeah. That's not bad.
It's tolerable.
It's Israel.
Yeah,
I agree. Probably The Proposal.
None of you's gonna say Bird Box or The Lake House.
I hated that movie so much.
I didn't see
Lake
Bird
House.
Box.
Oh, that was such a fucking annoying movie too.
Never saw either of those because I value time.
Lake House. It was with Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves, yeah. Yep. Next, at Nemirovsky, what is your favorite Eddie Murphy movie?
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah. He already commented about, I guess he might have written that wrong, but he asked you, actually, I wrote that wrong. I read that wrong. Sorry. Scratch that. Is that all? That is all. Not many questions for Speed. So we're going to let Brent Pope do what he's, I guess, all jacked up in California looking to do. And that is guts.
Gut.
The sacred cow. Oh, we got a fan here.
I love it. I love it when the guest joins in.
Oh, it's the best.
Happened like 4 times.
Yeah, out of 130 plus.
Nice. Why not? Well, you know, I gotta say from the top, most of the issues I have with this film have to do with like how much potential this film had to be pretty freaking great, and how like through some of the writing and directing and overall filmmaking choices they made, they ignored every obvious, very fixable flaw in this movie, which makes it fall far under that potential. So, and I'm going to try to not go too long because I can only assume that this rendition of That Doesn't Happen is going to be 3 hours long because it's basically every line of the movie. Anyway, first of all, why is it even called Speed Cruise Control? There's no cruise control on a boat.
That's the second one.
I'm kidding.
Nice try.
I know. I heard that episode where somebody did that, and I was like, oh, God.
Not on this podcast.
No. Okay. Let's start with the whole elevator scenario before we even get on the bus, right? First line of the movie, the dumbest security guard in the world pokes his head into a room where the elevator shafts are, I guess is what the room is. And he has this, like, he looks like the Hey Vern guy, the Ernest Goes to Jail movies. He has that look on his face. Why does he have that look on his face? Like, does he usually see something really delightful when he looks into this room? And then Dennis Hopper's like, no, I have this work order. Put your face right by here, even though I'm clearly hiding something behind it. And then he gets stabbed in the head. Just like the dumbest start to a movie ever. I don't know. It's going to get way dumber, though.
He had a gun. Why go for the knife?
Yeah. You know, another reason I know this is a bad movie, the villain, Dennis Hopper. Does anyone know this character's name? I've seen the movie like a bunch of times. I don't know his name. He's the villain.
Howard Payne. They say it throughout when they find out who it is.
I don't remember. I don't remember at all. I know Biff. I know Darth Vader. I don't know Howard Payne.
I mean, they
I don't know Howard Payne from anybody.
Yeah.
Or Howard Payne from Major Payne with Damon Wayans.
Oh, there you go.
Or Max Payne, the video game with Marky Mark with film.
So there's this whole philosophical discussion between Keanu and Jeff Daniels' characters about the best way to protect the hostage is take them out of the equation. In other words, you shoot the hostage in the leg so they drop down away from the knife or the gun or whatever that they're being threatened with, and then you have a clear shot at the guy. That's the philosophy, right? That sounds pretty sound, and that's what you're supposed to do. But this is not a scenario where you can actually use that strategy, because when this plays out in the movie, Keanu shoots his partner. He's not taken out of the equation because the guy's still right next to him with a bomb. It doesn't make any sense. And now he's shot and still lying next to the guy with the bomb. The other part of the strategy is he's fallen, supposed to have a clear shot at Dennis Hopper. You can't shoot him because he's going to, when he dies, the bomb's going to go off. So he basically shot his partner for no reason and doesn't eliminate the bad guy, doesn't get him away from danger, and they all got medals later. Explain that to me. And then instead he disappears into the parking garage, and the bomb immediately goes off. Cut to the award ceremony where the guy giving out awards is like,
we're not doing a scene. We're not doing a scene by scene rehash, are we? Because we don't do that.
No,
here.
we're not at all.
Okay,
but I'm just saying,
sure.
like, the guy says, the guy basically says, the only guy that lost was the guy that took his own life. Okay, so they didn't look to see if there's any part of any body. Clearly, there wasn't part of any body because he didn't die. He wasn't dead. So why did all these cops that are supposedly good cops think that he was dead? That it just doesn't make any sense. It's like an easily fixable thing in the movie.
Fair point.
Makes the audience feel like we're thinking like, oh, I thought these guys were good cops. I guess they're dumb. Pretty easy to find out. And then some of these characters, you get Alan Ruck, who's from like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Succession, playing just the most stereotypical dumb character, tourist. He's awkwardly hitting on Annie, talking about
I got gum.
Yeah, gum. She gets out of it. Pretty smart to get out of that way, but like he's saying stuff like, "Oh, I'm a yokel." Has this line ever worked when hitting on women? I'm a yokel, and this lady has sex with you. This doesn't make any sense.
On a bus, yes.
Yeah, and then when they get back to the airport finally, when they're all circling the airport, Alan Rucks, instead of being like, "Oh God, thank God we're at the airport where we can like circle and be safe, we can go 50 miles an hour," he's like, "Oh man, I already been to the airport." That's just so freaking dumb.
Are you trying to say that? Are you trying to say that Cameron is autistic?
Apparently he is. I don't know.
I guess
Oh,
when
and, you know,
when Cameron was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go, and let them go. They did.
That's right. And then, you know, the attitudes of the people on the bus, they don't match how people would actually be if there was a bomb on the bus. I know it's an action movie, but there's like a bunch of ill-timed jokes. Like Andy makes it like a Middle East kind of racist joke about like, what did this bomber do? Did we blow up his country or something? I was like,
How is that racist?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, she's implying that since the guy was a bomber, that he was from the Middle East, that we blew up one of his countries.
They didn't say Middle East, or then they not insinuate it.
She insinuated it, yeah.
He's not from the Middle East.
He was not from the Middle East, but
I'm saying she just said we bombed the country, not saying the bomber is from an origin in the Middle East.
Well, that's where a lot of bombs are in the Middle East. I'm just saying.
They happen everywhere. Bombs go everywhere.
All right, fine.
I'm not pro Palestine like that. Please don't take this.
All right, fine. No, I got you.
I'm just busting your balls.
All right, let's talk about this whole staying above 50 thing. Okay.
All right.
I'm glad that they said that it should have been staying above 20, because 20, that's kind of reasonable. But like, we're in any big city or on the freeway, because first of all, he sets up the bombs to arm as soon as they hit 50, and then it goes off when they go below 50. But the bus driver doesn't know that. So he easily could have just gone above 50 and then like tap the brakes and been at 49, and then it blows up and nobody ever knows like about any of the stuff. And by the way, Dennis Hopper's like, I want my 3 million. Well, okay, if you want your 3 million, why don't you set it up in a way so the bomb probably doesn't blow up? Because if the bomb blows up, you're not getting the 3 million, right? Does that make sense?
They had one point I read, a bonus fun fact. One guy tells the screenwriter, why didn't you have like the cops shoot out the bus tires before it got to 50? The guy goes, I never thought of that. That's pretty fucking good.
Well, and all the times it would have gone below, they're turning like around a big corner. They hit like 30 cars. They don't go below 50. They take a hard right where half the wheels come off the thing. They don't go below 50. And, you know,
I had it too.
They drive through the tiger's teeth where the wheels are just falling off for like 10 minutes. They don't go below 50. They go off the missing part of the freeway, and in the middle of the air, they don't lose any speed. They don't go below. It's just like, I don't want to think during an action movie. So when the things like this happen, I'm thinking like, and that's what I hate about it, is I have to think if it wasn't so blatant, you know. And then speaking of the freeway jump, the cops don't realize that this freeway isn't finished. I'm sorry, don't they patrol different streets and they'll know, and everyone in the community knows, oh yeah, that one freeway is going now. We can drive down that freeway. This doesn't occur. I'm going to say it differently. That doesn't occur.
Sidebar, patent pending adjacent. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, everyone would know. And Keanu also says, floor it. It's an interchange. There might be an incline. Well, it wasn't an incline. It was completely flat. And then somehow it still goes up in the air. It's like the physics of it is just really terrible. And then why does he, when they go over the incline, when she needs to pay attention to see, he jumps on top of her as if there was a bomb going off. He was protecting her from a bomb. I don't understand why they did that at all.
He wanted to cop a field, duh.
Well, yeah, he could have done that at any time. He had her immediately. Yeah. Anyway, they land perfectly, lost no speed being in the air. And, a thing that was bugging me throughout this also was like, wait a minute. Once Keanu gets on the bus, why is Annie still driving the bus? We've already seen Keanu as like a stunt driver, as a cop. He would immediately be like, ma'am, I got this. Get off. Let me get on here and I'm going to drive. He would not, no, in no world does he let her keep driving the bus. And one of the other things is like, and hey, maybe this is racist and maybe it's not. It's annoying if nothing else. How about how they treat Ortiz, the big Latino character, who for some reason, like we said, is still wearing his hard hat half the movie? And why is everybody shitting on him for no reason? Like
because his dialogue sucks. That's why.
But every time he says something, the first time Jack talks to him, he hasn't talked to this guy at all. He goes, "Hey, Gigantor, get up." Why does he call him that? When he meets Annie, he calls her Ma'am Annie. Ortiz, hey, Gigantor. When Ortiz comes up to try to talk to Annie, help her out, she's like, "Get your ass behind the yellow line." Why? Does that still matter at this moment? And then when he congratulates Keanu for getting out from under the bus, he's like, "Man, you got some big hairy cojones." Keanu says, "That's gross, dude." What? Man, if I was getting treated like, how about the argument where Alan Ruck's character's like, "I shouldn't be on this bus," and Ortiz says, well, I got a family too. And then the other white guy goes, oh yeah, because you got a family. You're better than us. Like he doesn't say anything to Alan Ruck, but he yells at Ortiz for talking about his family. This is just really, Joss Whedon wrote this stuff. That's really surprises me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the whole, we're just two cool dudes. Let's go kill the Dracula first. Then this is some of the dumbest dialogue in the movie.
Dracula.
Well, that's all of his stuff sounds the same. So I'm just mixing up all of his movies.
I missed that.
Interview with the Vampire.
Oh, that was it was from Van Helsing's Dracula.
Oh yeah,
the one with Gary Oldman, right?
Love that one.
Let's see. Towards just a lot of this stuff doesn't make sense. Like towards the end, they finally get off the bus. Annie's being attended to. Dennis Hopper's like, "Hey, let's all go to the drop point." Why do they bring Annie to the drop point? Why is she there? She is a civilian. Guys, bring the ambulance over here. And also, a bomber says, hey, here's the drop point. And the cops are all like, hey, let's all 100 of us go to the drop point. As if there's no way there could be a bomb there and blow us all up.
Did you read my notes?
They're all in the goddamn buildings with their windows cracked with the sniper rifles.
Christ. And then maybe the worst thing that happens in the movie, is like they're on the subway train at the end. They can't slow down. So then Keanu says, let's speed up. That's so we can run into more objects at a much longer amount of time at a much higher speed. I understand, like some of these things in the movie, I understand what happened. Like I think the filmmakers are like, I have this awesome picture in mind we're going to see on screen. We're going to see the thing burst out of the subway and land sideways right in front of the Chinese theater. That's going to look awesome. But then they to justify this, they have to have the character make a choice that makes no sense. Easily fixed. Like all these things are easily fixed. They could have just said the train's stuck at full speed. Okay, that's the same thing. And then they end up going out. But it's just like so poorly put together and executed. It's a shame because it could have been great. Bottom line is, are there, entertaining moments? Yeah, but they could have been both entertaining and semi-realistic, which takes it to a much higher level. But they choose to not make any of these simple changes.
Wait, I know why he floored it. Didn't you ever play sports where they said when you go through practice at half speed, that's when you get hurt? That's what Keanu Reeves thought. I can't go through half speed. I gotta go full speed because I'm gonna get hurt otherwise.
That's right. You play how you practice.
That's it.
Thank you. We're gonna practice the full speed.
More sweat on the practice field, less blood out on the game field.
Yeah. Never mind. There's just a bunch of more people we're gonna almost run into. But yeah, most of the cast is pretty good, but the plot. I mean, they're pretty good actors, right? A lot of them are pretty good actors. Not all of them. I mean, you got Donnie Darko's mom. I don't know her name. She's on the bus. Oh, did you guys notice that the bartender, when they're getting drunk after the award ceremony, was Napoleon Dynamite's grandma? That lady from Big Love?
No.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, that's the lady from.
You know why? Because I put that fucking shitty ass movie out of my mind forever.
I'm trying to remind you of it. I'm trying to keep it in your mind.
No good fucking luck. That is a bank vault door that is sealed shut.
Oh, yeah. Well, look, if you guys are willing to forgive all of these obvious and easily fixable flaws, you have to be living on nostalgia. And that's not what we're doing here, right?
Oh, anyway, someone's done his homework, Kevin Israel.
That's all I got to say.
Son of a bitch. I do too.
I like it.
Brent, give me a number 1 to 10. You know the drill.
This is a 3. And the only reason it's a 3 is because it's 3 times better than Speed Cruise Control. So that's what I'm thinking there. Otherwise, it could have been lower. Speed Cruise Control is a 1. But this is a 3.
I mean, I would say the subway bombing last week in the city was better than Speed 2.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
That's what they said when you hit the ground. Let's talk about our favorite sponsor right now, Kevin Israel. Athletic Greens just had a glass of Athletic Greens not even 20 minutes ago. I love it because it is a daily supply of over how many multivitamins are in there, Kevin? You know?
All of them.
Because no one wants to take all these different multivitamins. The founder of Athletic Greens tried doing that. It cost him over $100 a day. This costs less than $3 a day. And it supports better sleep quality and recovery. Uses are the best of the best products based on the latest science with constant product iterations and third-party testing. Over 7,000 5-star reviews. And you're investing in all-in-one nutritional insurance. And the best reason about Athletic Greens, Kevin Israel, is...
it tastes good.
Yeah.
It's a great way to start your morning. Mix it with a cold glass of water, chug it down. It tastes good. It gives you the focus you need. You can probably nix your morning cup of coffee thanks to Athletic Greens. It's a multi-purpose drink.
100% right. And Athletic Greens is climate neutral and certified company. They've also in 2020 purchased carbon credits that support projects protecting old growth rainforests, and they've donated over 1.2 million meals to kids in 2020. So they're quite charitable as well. Right now, for free, by going to athleticgreens.com/GTSC, you get a year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs. Again, athleticgreens.com/GTSC. Thank you, Athletic Greens. Notes. Oh, first 2 minutes, I am already screaming at my TV. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm talking about a very simple scene. When the guy in the elevator goes, I already pushed you. Do you think it's going to come any faster? I fucking hate people that press the button more than once in the elevator. Do you think the dummies who made the elevator, people who made the elevator go, uh-oh, someone needs to be there on a double tap means double the speed? I despise you dum-dums. Speed 2 is so bad, even cameras from Ferris Bueller's Day Off character was not even in this. It's obvious that shoot the hostage or civil lawsuits are not taught in police academies. Let's do some back of the napkin math, gentlemen. They pull up to the scene. They go, we have 23 minutes until the deadline. 23 minutes, okay? So let's keep this in mind as I tell you the tale. To get up 30 flights of stairs. Now, take another 2 to 5 minutes to assess the elevator situation. Then they unscrew the panel. Then they go to the roof. Then they get a steel rope with a hook and connect it to the elevator car. All within the time it takes you almost to get a pizza to your house. Almost. I think the 30 flights of stairs is the biggest horse shit we have to swallow, and I'm not swallowing that.
You don't hear him say that often, so write this day down.
Yep.
I think Dennis Hopper's a great villain in this. I disagree with you. He's certifiably nuts, and I'm all in with him. I'm all in on Howard Payne. Now, I didn't take physics in high school because I didn't give a shit. I got to take other classes and graduate that way because whatever. Science, yo. How does one rig a bomb that explodes and sends Keanu Reeves flying through the back of the hallway, but Jeff Daniels lay unmoved on the ground?
Yep.
This defies basic physics. I need some answers. Post haste. Kids are never going to learn the joys of getting payphone numbers and prank calling them. I see all those payphones, Howard Payne's calling them. I go, we used to prank call payphones all the time and fuck with people. Kids are these days, they don't have that luxury. Ready for that doesn't happen?
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen public transportation stop for anyone, ever.
Yep.
Ever. Sam! No, try that in Manhattan. Those motherfuckers are through 2 lights by the time you catch up to that corner. No, that doesn't happen.
I specifically didn't mention that because I knew you were going to mention that. I was like, that has to be. If it doesn't, yeah. I'm going to take away his "that doesn't happen" card.
The guy who gets his car stolen is in a ton of movies. I did not bother Googling, but I recognize that black guy. Then the Jaguar. I don't care about your crime. I'm sure you're sorry for what you did. This is right up here with, I am an FBI agent. Everyone is so friendly on this bus with each other. I would suspect anyone on a real bus has multiple DWIs and would be avoiding eye contact with people who smell like sour milk and broken dreams. I know we're suspending. That hit you, Brent. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
I know we're suspending disbelief, but going down the off-ramp and smashing into 27 parked cars is going to slow it down just a tad below 50. We all just watched Beverly Hills Cop for last episode, and we know what's going to happen there, right? Right. That homeless lady is dressed way too well to be pushing a baby stroller full of cans. She's missing circles of yellow paint around her mouth for huffing purposes.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Cameron's dialogue is so fucking cringy awful. Like the screenwriter wanted to go, I'm going to hire Alan Ruck just because I hate his goddamn guts and then hire him and embarrass him with having to say these shitty lines. Sure, you can cash a paycheck and sure, you can get the SAG residuals, but you're going to look like a jerk off while doing so. And action, Cameron, action. Why isn't Sandra Bullock setting the cruise control in 55, then kicking back with a smoke?
Buses don't have cruise control.
That was what I was afraid of. Do you know that, Mr. Commercial driver's license holder?
They're not allowed to have cruise control. It's against federal standards.
Oh, here's the lawyer. Fuck. All right.
I just
Sustained. Mac, Keanu and Jeff Daniels' superior officer, is an asshole. He's always shouting and beyond pushing. They're moving. There's no need to tell them to keep moving. There's no need to constantly bark at them. Now move. Asshole, we are moving. This is a fluid motion. We haven't stopped since a bomb was on the bus. He's a dick. Did not like him. But he was in Speed 2. This movie has the best "I'm fucked" moment on Jeff Daniels' face right before he gets blown up. The way his face sees the alarm in the house, the motion sensor, and he goes from like, all right, to oh fuck, and then blows up. I love that part. That's a nice kick to the balls moment. I like the Wildcat twist. I like him seeing that she had the sweatshirt for University of Arizona. I thought that was kind of cool. Nice subtle way to tip him off that they have the camera in there. I keep forgetting that LA has a subway, and from what I hear, no one uses it unless you have a lot of money and a watch to get rid of. Why would a 50 to 60-year-old man feel the need to give up his weapon and his superior position to climb the top of an unmanned moving subway car to fight a younger, stronger cop? That doesn't happen. I'm smarter than you. Well, I'm taller. What the hell does that mean? And then followed up with he lost his head. This is right out of a James Bond, Arnold, or Stallone action movie. To that, I nod and go, okay, I got it. But what a shitty lead in. I'm smarter than you. Yeah? Well, I'm taller. Shouldn't he be shorter so he doesn't lose his head as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Josh Whedon ain't a master of dialogue. That's what I'm getting at.
We could have just said I'm stronger.
Fair. Los Angeles seems to lead the league in unfinished roadways and subways. Whomever is in charge of their infrastructure should be fired now. A common trope you see in movies is working number of days without an incident sign that eventually gets destroyed or something happens right in front of it. Case in point, this film right here. Despite the clunkiest of dialogue, Reeves, Daniels, Bullock, and Hopper are great. The other characters are terrible. They are terrible. They're cringy. The woman who steps off the bus and gets blown up. I mean, Jesus Christ, Helen Keller could see that coming. That was so telegraphed. Like, okay, you see the look of consternation on her face, and then she takes one step forward. Ma'am, step back. Helen, no, Helen, officer. No, those extras, those secondary actors were fucking terrible. But the story, we all know it's a ton of that doesn't happen. You made a great point. Why the fuck is Sandra Bullock? Why is the ambulance right across from the bomb site? Why is she not with everybody else getting medical attention? But no, she's got to be right across the street where the shit is about to go down, where 15 sniper rifles could have a straight bullet go right through her pretty little face. This passes the remote test. I still enjoy it. I will knock it down to half a point for that Sandra Bullock fact about the in the ambulance. I still like this. I still like it. 6.5 out of 10. Pretty good. Like it. I'm not going to die in the hell for it, but I'm still down with it. Kevin Israel, the floor is yours.
Okay, so my biggest realization when watching this movie, the movie started and the score started playing, and I was like, "Holy shit, this sounds really familiar."
I know you're going to go with this,
and it kept coming back on, and I was like, "Is this Bad Boys?" And I was like, "Holy shit." This sounds just, and my wife was like, "Why would you know what the Bad Boy soundtrack or the Bad Boy score sounds like?" And I was like, "Because I had it. I used to play it all the time. I love that song. I love
Mark Mancina,
and it was fucking him. And it's literally the same exact song. It plays just like it's like 9 notes, and it plays throughout the whole movie. And every time it does, I expect Marcus and Mike to come speeding around in a Porsche.
Wait, I'm gonna interrupt for 1 second. The guy who did Demolition Man, his name is Elliot Goldenthal. He also did Batman Forever. Now, I've seen both. I've seen Demolition Man way more than Batman Forever because Batman Forever sucks and Demolition Man is good. But it's the same 9 notes or thereabouts.
Is it?
You go. You'll watch Demolition Man again, I'm sure. Go watch Batman Forever again. But it's the same lazy ass attempt of a score.
It's amazing how a song can like put you, because I kept feeling like I was watching Bad Boys every time that played. I was like, oh, this isn't.
I'm Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry.
So the other interesting experience I had with this movie was I completely forgot about the elevator scene. I wiped that from my memory, and that's 27 minutes of the movie. You're not on the bus till minute 30, about 37, I think, in the movie. It's a huge chunk of the movie that I just completely forgot about. And I got to tell you, it's actually pretty good. Kev's right. They wouldn't have gotten up 30 flights of stairs in 23 minutes. But I think I almost enjoyed the excitement of the elevator scene. Because first of all, being trapped in an elevator is everybody's fear. Like that's a horrifying concept. An elevator crashing is terrifying. The whole thing with the crate, I almost think that was the better action scene than a lot of the other ones that they fed us. Because in the end, this movie is just like 5 or 6 big tense moments strung together with this kind of very loose plot that you just have to swallow and say is okay. You guys both said it, but as a car guy, I have to reiterate. You could not go around an exit ramp in a bus at 50 miles an hour. I've driven sports cars that have trouble going around exit ramps at 60 or 70 miles an hour. A bus would have flipped over. It wouldn't have slowed down. It would have flipped over. And especially when you see the bus lean up on its side wheels, it's not doing 50 on its side wheels. That bus would have blown up 5 to 10 minutes into the entire bus portion of this movie. Just complete horseshit. I have to disagree with my esteemed colleague. I think Dennis Hopper's character sucked. He was
really
bland. I don't think he wasn't crazy enough. His motivation wasn't great enough for all of this. They built him up to be this kind of genius, but he did a lot of stuff. He made a lot of stupid mistakes. Like, first of all, the whole thing with him calling her Wildcat. He had built up this whole elaborate plan. He had it all perfectly mapped out. And then he keeps saying the name on her sweatshirt. Like, he wouldn't have made that mistake if he was such a genius. That's just a rookie move. And it was just a plot device to get it to the point where Keanu realized, oh, he can see us. Yeah. He's watching us. Such horseshit. And a mastermind that this guy was supposed to be wouldn't have made that mistake. This is the worst police department, maybe in movie history. They make so many terrible decisions. First of all, they send a bomb squad to go into the house of the bomb builder, and they're surprised that it's armed. You would have sent a robot in to do that. They send all their best guys and are like, that's probably fine. Go ahead. And it blows up. Everybody who made that decision should have been fired, because that was the worst. That was so bad. And it makes me happy to hear that it was originally Daniels was originally supposed to be the bad guy, and then they decided to kill him off, because that felt like that whole idea was just strung together, because it was just never would have happened. Then they wait, what was my other point? Oh, right. And so then the thing with Annie that Brent pointed out. Then the cops let her go, and they just stand outside the ambulance and hang it. Nobody would have been standing around there. They wouldn't have allowed anybody, let alone her. Why was she there? And she's like, oh, what's his name said I could be here. What? No, he did. That's ridiculous. And then when Hopper's character specifically said, and don't bring any people there, I'll be watching you. And they're like, all right, put all the snipers in as visible spots as possible so he can see anywhere, and every cop everywhere. Just do. The worst police department in the history of police departments. Every decision they made was terrible, or it just served the plot, which is even more terrible because it's kind of lazy writing.
Fire Mac hashtag.
Yeah, I didn't have a ton of notes on this, and you guys really covered all of my major points. I did like Keanu Reeves in this. Look, Keanu Reeves isn't a great actor. I think even Keanu Reeves would tell you that he's not a great actor. He's terrible when he tries to be dramatic. He's not great at funny. and he always feels just a little bit awkward. Keanu Reeves acting feels like an alien who just ended up in a human's body and only got to watch other humans for like 10 minutes and then had to go out and pretend to be a human. He always feels like he's just learning how to interact with people and say things to people. That the whole scene, the whole exchange on the bus, you guys both hit the nail on the head. It's so awkward. Nobody talks like that. But their chemistry was pretty good. I actually bought into those two, slowly getting romantically involved, and so I enjoyed that. But her character was just too perfectly fit for the point. Like she was, this pretty enough, feisty enough girl who just happens to be on the bus with this good enough looking cop who it just felt a little too on the nose for me, but I did like them. I think I hate to disagree with Kev, but I think my biggest problem in the movie was Dennis Hopper, and then the fight on the roof of the train. There's not a chance in hell Dennis Hopper would have held a candle to Keanu Reeves.
No,
Keanu Reeves would have knocked that motherfucker out. I don't even care if it was on a train that was going full speed. Keanu Reeves would have wiped the floor with him. That was a ridiculous fight. And if they knew that's where this movie was going, that it was going to end up in a fight on the top of a subway, they should have picked an actor who was more believable physically that could have taken on Keanu Reeves in his physical. What was Keanu Reeves in his mid-20s at this point? Absolutely ridiculous.
Missing a thumb too.
Right. And handicap.
He must be a hit with his grandkids doing the "Where's my thumb?" All
right, Grandpa, we get it. You have no thumb. Now tell us about the time you beat up Keanu Reeves
and then got your head knocked off.
Is that the joke though? That now he's taller because he didn't get his head. I guess maybe I could finally get that joke. I'm taller because I didn't get my head knocked off. You're shorter because your head just got knocked off. That's why that's supposed to work.
The fact that it took us all three people
though.
to put together that joke.
But he was taller than Dennis Hopper was, even when he didn't have.
I know.
It was headless, for Christ's sakes.
Right.
It didn't make sense. Shut up, Joss Whedon.
That's if either of us, if any of the three of us ever meet Joss Whedon, that's the question we have to ask him. What did you mean by "I'm taller" in Speed? He'd probably love that. And finally, the subway scene, the whole scene with the subway speeding up and then blowing through the street. Subways they're not made out of like titanium.
Right.
They're metal cans essentially that would probably have crumpled when it hit any of that stuff. It wouldn't have just kept going. It's not like a battering ram. That completely impossible. Completely impossible. Leaving aside your point about speeding up and that, you're right, but just completely impossible. So in closing, this movie didn't stand the test of time like I remembered it. I didn't hate watching it, but it really, really does show its age, and the warts and the bumps do really come out when you really take a look at the plot and what they're trying to put together. Action movies have come a long way in their plot development and their character development, and especially focusing on the bad guys. I didn't hate it. I won't rush out to watch it. For me, I don't think it doesn't pass the remote test. If it's on, it's not a movie that I rush to keep on or to watch any specific scenes. So like I said, I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's a 5.
6.5, 5 for me, and you had a 3, if I remember correctly. Okay.
Yep.
Not that far apart. All right. Critics 5-star reviews. The action in Speed is unrelenting for the most part, moving from one explosion to another and keeping the viewers entertained throughout the almost 2-hour running time. Speed still remains a taut, thrilling action masterpiece, one that is expertly edited, fantastically written, and exhilarating from start to finish. With some horseshit dialogue heavily sprinkled throughout. That's me. The action in Speed is unrelenting for the most part, moving from one I already said that one, sorry. While Speed might be a great teaching aid for high school physics, it can also be used to illustrate concepts. It might also be used to illustrate concepts of 23rd century Western philosophy.
Dear God.
Hello, sarcasm. Table for two.
Pop quiz.
That's a good point you made, Brett, because I was going to say that I had to cross it off because you said there is no ramp up to have that kind of air. It's the thing when it went off the ramp, it should have like at least stayed level and probably just kind of caved in as the middle of the bus hit the other side of the ramp. Physically impossible yet again for my
show you how big of a dork I am. I paused the movie and actually set up a little model to show my wife.
No, you did not.
I was like, you need to understand this. And she's like, okay. I was like, it would have fallen. It wouldn't have gone up. That's not how gravity works. It would have gone and it would have just fallen and it would have hit the underside of the other bed. She's like, okay. And then when it lands, I was like, look, and it's facing up like this. She's like, all right. Just start the movie again.
The only thing missing from that scene was someone not hitting the horn going dee 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 dee. By the way, did you build a model? Did you build a model to scale like Dr. Emmett Brown? Please excuse the crudity of this model.
Please excuse. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to put this together.
That's not the scale. I can't. You should have taken a picture of that, you asshole.
No, it wasn't. I was just like I used 2 pillows and I think the remote for the car.
That would be. Ashley should have taken a picture of that and goes, "This is what I have to live with."
It also landed right on top where the bomb was on the bottom of the bus. I mean, and the wheels would have all fallen off. Also,
the bus. The bus would have. Buses and subways are very resilient in this movie.
Yeah, they're made of adamantium, not aluminum, Kevin. Duh, or vibranium. Ready? There should be traffic jams at the box office as Fox picks up many busloads of riders for its fast and furiously entertaining thriller Speed. Whoever wrote that definitely failed as a wacky morning local DJ. Critics 1-star reviews. Eventually, inevitably, it goes too far, too fast, and ends up off the rails.
Oh.
Gong. The plot becomes so overextended as Reeves and Hopper wage their endless public transportation battle. Even the hardest dieharders will consider leaping off way before the final stop. Undeniably, the picture now and again supplies that edge-of-your-seat sensation, yet, by action-adventure standards, Speed is leaden and strangely pokey. It never seems to shift into overdrive and let fly. I don't know. I think the action is pretty good. All horseshit, a lot of horseshit. I think the action's pretty good, though. I wouldn't say doesn't let it fly.
You know, they did a good job building like this. Again, going back to the elevator scene, when they're pulling the people out of the elevator and you think somebody's going to get cut in half. They did build tension well in those various scenes.
And the woman going, I don't know, bullshit, lady. You'd be pushing your way to the front like everybody else at the same time. Yeah. Stop it. A really entertaining film full of breathtaking stunts, explosions, chases, and other spectacular actions. Unfortunately, those qualities seem to wear off on the second viewing. Amazon 5-star reviews. Oh, this is good. Sometimes at work, my colleague Ted Pepsi and I tend to get locked into serious debates. Well, the other day, Ted told me that Speed was the greatest action movie of all time. He was especially impressed with the scene where Walter Matthau drove the bus. Needless to say, I knew Ted was wrong, but I didn't have a DVD to prove it. This sale solved both of my problems. After one fast purchase and watching the movie 5 times with Ted for emphasis, I can safely inform you that Walter Matthau does not appear anywhere in the movie Speed. He's not on the bus, not in the SWAT room, and no, Ted, he's not in any crowd long shots either. Drop it already. Signed, Jack Lemmon. I forgot how buff Keanu Reeves was in this movie. Definite eye candy, or as the gamers at E3 said, you're breathtaking.
What?
I don't know. I'm not here to translate stupidity.
No, explain it to me.
Hey, all you Gen Zers who listen to this podcast, what does that mean? It should be called slow down or maintain that speed or boom. Just speed makes it sound like they're all just tweakers riding along a trolley to work. Maybe they are. Keanu is the man, though, and he rides, so automatic 5 stars. Just for you, Mr. Reeves. Wish you had more lines in Wick. Why you got to be so mischievous, bro?
Tweakers.
He's right about the tweakers on the bus, and that's something that, yeah. Mm-hmm. A great date night movie, provided you have enough wine.
Amazon 1-star reviews. Amazon 1-star reviews.
Amazon 1-star reviews. I hate this movie. 55 isn't that fast. You could just drive your car up to the next to the bus to get the passengers. That's the whole point of the fucking movie, you dummy. You can't offload them.
He didn't watch the movie.
Oh, and you're telling me no one could take their shoelaces and tie the accelerator down? Just so many plot holes. Shoelaces to hold this down.
How do you tie an accelerator down?
Did Joss Whedon write the script too, besides the dialogue? Save your time and watch a Bugs Bunny cartoon instead. It would be more entertaining and make more sense. The fact that so many people like this finally proves that mankind did come from apes. Signed, Diane Fossey. Speed? Come on, people. This movie stunk to high heaven. Good story, admitted, but the final product left me shaking my head. Keanu Reeves' acting was so bad, I had to stick my hand inside and slap the little SOB. If there was an Academy Award for Ham, then I'd understand, but I don't think there is. Little boy trying to play a grown-up role is what it boils down to. Maybe he should have gotten a few more chest hairs before he decided to do this. Next, there are serious action movies, and then there are the campy. Both are enjoyable, but they should never cross the lines with each other. Speed came off as trying to be serious, but it fell flat a number of times. I would rather eat my own boogers on national TV for 2 hours if anyone could get a bus to make that jump. How many boogers can you fellas eat in 2 hours? My guess is 150.
I don't even want to play this game.
You pledged. I pledged. Come on.
Nope.
10 and a half weeks we did not eat boogers, I promise you. Man, this movie sucks. Make no mistake, I am a man, and I like my movies manly and violent. I just want to point this out because so many people love the right reviews for things. I'm laughing too. Hold on a second. I need to hit a beer.
I like my movies manly and violent with a lot of ass and cock.
I like my movies black, like coffee, like my men black. Airplane? No? Okay. I just want to point this out because so many people love to write reviews for the things they would not generally care for, which is pretty worthless. I have nothing against Speed in theory, or in action movies in theory anyway. Basically, Speed lives on its gimmicky premise. The trouble is, this premise proves to be exceedingly dull. Riding the bus is not thrilling. In fact, riding the bus is more interesting than anything else in this film. There are often crazy people on the real bus. Also, you can try to play a game and determine which of the 5 cell phone conversations that you are overhearing is the most asinine. Parentheses, this is futile. However, they are always banal beyond belief. Now, the movie goes on for a lot longer than it should have and simply becomes moronic and tedious. And then it covers all the bases, I guess. Also, it has the most obnoxious, loathsome Sandra Bullock and a particularly dull Keanu Reeves. Hopper hams it up, as he ought to, but he's a lot less fun than usual. That's the problem with this movie. It's stupid and tedious, but in a pious, serious way. You can't laugh at this the way you can lots of crappy action films. All you can do is sigh, yawn, and finally sleep.
Fell asleep during that review.
Mm-hmm. Though this thing was terrible, and I thought it couldn't get any worse until I was forced by my wife to watch Speed 2. And then he had to have sex with his wife, which was worse than Speed 2.
Wow. I see what you did there.
Yeah, well, got to call audibles. Kevin Israel, did Brent Pope gut the sacred cow?
For me, I think Brent did.
Okay. I agree. I think he did too. I dropped my point. I dropped my score half a point. Enough good points. Listen, I know this is flawed. I still like it. It's good. It's fine. It's fine. I like it. I'm not going to die on a hill for it. I'm not going to go and duke it out for this film.
Well done, Brent.
Well done
Thank
indeed.
you. I appreciate it. I do like the one scene I do like. Well, there's a couple I like, but I do like the one where the guy gets his car stolen because that guy is hilarious. The guy's in a bunch. He's in South Central and a bunch of other stuff. But like,
he was in Showgirls. He was in Showgirls too.
That'd be the only time I would stop. Is if that scene was on, I might watch that one. But the rest of them, I'm not stopping the road for any of the rest of them. But thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah.
I like how he had a black Magnum marker in his car to write "bomb on bus" in his glove compartment.
Yeah, the first thing should have said, "Don't slow down," because when you say "bomb on bus," you're going to slow down immediately, right? I mean, that was another thing. Jeez.
Yeah. Tell the fine folks, Brent, what you're up to, where we can find you, all that happy horse shit.
Oh gosh, you can find me on various TV shows all over the place, and also my weekly podcast, Breakfast with Brent Pope, where Hollywood meets great food. We have breakfast, and then we talk about our entertainment journeys and such things like that. And that's mostly where you can find me. Breakfast.com, BrentPope.com, @ScoopsPope on Instagram.
That works. Kevin Israel, what about you?
KevinIsrael.com for upcoming comedy dates, my album, The Struggle is Real, on iTunes. And more importantly, leave us a 5-star rating and a few sentence review on your podcast platform of choice. It means a lot to us. It helps us with the almighty algorithm that we all bow down to. And if you're lucky enough and you write something that is just gracious enough, Kevin Goatee will feature your review on our various social media platforms and shout you out because it made us just that happy.
Ain't that the truth? KevinGoatee.com for the usual rigmarole. Guttingthesacredcow.com. Gutting the Sacred Cows on Patreon. So patreon.com/GTSC. And to advertise with us, guttingthesacredcow @gmail.com. And when you're done jerking off on the metaverse, come watch our show. We're on the metaverse. In addition to YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, obviously Apple, Google, all the usual suspects. And that is it. Brent Pope, thanks for coming out and hanging around with us. We appreciate you. And
hey, thanks for having me. I'm a big fan of the show. You guys are awesome. So, keep going.
Hey, just for the record, tell everybody that we're better than Who Would Win.
You are better than Who Would Win.
Yep, leave it at that.
We're good.
Cut and tape.
Cut and print. Kevin Goatee, Kevin Israel saying goodbye, and we'll see you folks later. Aloha.